Alright. So, are we good? Yeah? Okay. To the camera? Okay. So, what did you want to know? The world before COVID? Well, it's different.
Welcome to the one and only Savannah High School.
In schools, sports. There's no mask, no 6 feet distancing, so people can gathering around in crowds. Amusement parks, celebrations, holiday. Lots of fun back then. It was good and bad.
And now, Trump. One of these things is not like the other. And if you're thinking it's Obama because he's black, you probably voted for Trump.
A week-long state of emergency declared this morning in parts of Australia. Thousands fleeing as more than 200 fires rage in two of Australia's most populated states, killing at least 18 people.
At least 17 people have been killed, students and adults. At least 15 injured and the shooter. This is the 18th school shooting already this year. It is just mid-February.
It was the world that we took for granted. And I guess this was time Mother Nature slaps us in the face.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
Breaking news. The first death from coronavirus here in the United States. A man in his 50s dying from COVID-19 infection in Washington state.
At least 3 states, Washington, Oregon, and California, are now seeing cases of community spread.
The number of coronavirus cases here in the U.S. now tops 1,000 as state officials take new steps to try to contain the outbreak.
Clearly, we are not in total control right now. I would not be surprised if we go up to 100,000 a day if this does not turn around.
For 2 days in a row, new cases have topped 100,000.
At least 16 states have just broken hospitalization records.
Governor Gavin Newsom says he's putting the emergency brake on COVID reopenings. This as the state is seeing the fastest increase in COVID cases.
The nation tonight has marked a new watershed moment in the COVID-19 pandemic. 500,000 confirmed deaths.
Wearing a mask and 6 feet distancing have been normal things since March last year. They are the rules that we just have to play these days. Back in February last year, when Anaheim started to get its first new cases, I was one of the first people in Savannah to wear a mask. People thought I was crazy. I was even being discriminated against for wearing a mask.
Don't stereotype Asian people. Also, there's a good chance they're doctors, so they can help you out if you are worried, okay?
That last day of in-person learning was the hardest. I still remember it was Friday, March 13, 2020. But the following days were worse.
Store shelves nationwide are dwindling or totally empty.
It was chaotic. People are actually freaking out. They thought they were in danger. It was truly crazy. We only need a few earthquakes and it will look exactly like the movie 2012.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, get on car.
Yes, that's what we do every single week. This is the only chance I can get out of the house.
And idola.
Before even saying it's good or bad, we all have to admit that it created a different world. The good thing is, I had more time to study, exercise, self-care, and just being with my family. And the negative effect is isolation, disconnection. Human connections were something that we took for granted in the pre-COVID world, but it is now one of the rarest resources. The experience and effect on each person may vary, but our life will never go back to the way they were before COVID.
U.S. President Joe Biden is making a big promise in the fight against the pandemic. Enough vaccine for all U.S. adults, tens of millions of U.S. adults, by the end of May.
More than 1/4 of all adult Americans that are now fully vaccinated.
As things are improving, there are a lot of activities I would like to do. I want to meet people again, shaking hands, hugging, to run without a mask, to learn in person, to go back to my home country, Vietnam, and more importantly, not to be treated like a virus. The pandemic has taught me a lot about gratitude, appreciation, and the real value of human connections. Whatever I do when we get back, I will try to live the most amazing life, not for me, but for 3 million people who have died because COVID-19.
Left untold, beaten by a broken dream. Nothing like what it used to be. We've been chasing our demons down an empty road. Been watching a castle turning into dust. Escaping our shadows just to end up here.